Okay, so yeah, I took too long to explain this, and Bandicam is kind of crap, and so I'm gonna try to do this a bit easier and a bit faster. I practiced already. So I had this idea because I couldn't fall asleep, and then I heard this. I was on Instagram checking reels, and I saw a reel of a guy with another guy, and they were discussing how the universe started and if God exists and it must have a creator and all this shit, about the beginning of the universe. And I thought up a very funny scenario. I thought it was very funny. And the scenario goes like this. So imagine that you have some fishes, right? And they're very smart. They don't look very smart, but we have these fishes, right, in their ocean, and they got like Fish Einstein, and Fish Einstein he figured out like we're in water, right? And that was like fucking crazy to them. Like when they figured out, whoa, we're like in water, like that was the highest achievement ever, right? And they're trying to understand, they see that the ocean kind of ends, but then that it goes around itself and it's like infinite, right? It's not quite infinite to us, but they understand it like that, right? And it's always moving and expanding. And then, in reality, when they look at the horizon here, at their event horizon or whatever they call it, the end, they're actually just looking at the beach, right? We're laughing. We're like, they're looking at the beach, whatever. But anyways, they think in terms of oceany stuff. They think in terms of like, yeah, they think in terms of things like swim and flow and float, right? So they think in these terms because they're from the ocean universe. And we come and we choose to swim with them so that we can swim with them and explain them, whatever explain is in ocean world, uh, how the ocean began. Because they're going crazy. They're starting to believe in gods and shit. So we tell them there is an ocean, there is an earth, there is a sky, and we tell them that water drops fell from the sky into a hole and the ocean was born. And the fishes they go like, well, we don't understand what the fuck is means, right? Because to be comes from our time space thingy, and they're water people. They're water folks, right? So they don't understand this sentence. There is an ocean, there is an earth. What the fuck is earth? What is sky? And what is like? They don't understand these sentences, and they don't understand fall because nothing falls in the ocean, right? So we translate for them. We go, okay, there swims an ocean, there swims an earth, and there swims a sky. Water drops sunk into a hole, and the ocean swam. I misspelled hole. So yeah, and then they go to the I don't know the Jimmy Fallon fish show, and they act like they understand what the fuck is happening. But obviously, a scientist fish is more curious, and he starts looking into this, and he goes like, well, it doesn't make sense that the water drop sunk into a hole because according to my equations, sinking requires water, requires the ocean to already exist. So what do you mean that it sunk? And and then we go, oh, okay, like it's because we translated fell into like your oceany terms, right? So we translated it to sink, but actually it's fell. And if you were like me, like a monkey, trust me, you could go outside the ocean and you could see that falling, it's a lot like sinking, just that it doesn't require the water around, right? And the fish would be hopeless, like they wouldn't understand what the fuck, right? But the funny part is that we as monkeys, the same shit could happen to us. So there could come Gabriel and Raphael and whatnot, angels, right? And they could choose to, instead of swim, they could choose to exist like in the space-time continuum, and they do something else. They don't exist or not exist. It's like they talk. It's different, right? We don't get it. It's like the fishes will never get it that we walk and we exist in space-time. They just get swim and flow. We just get is and was and become. So we don't get whatever they do. But they tell us there is a universe, there is Le Terra, there is Das Himmel, I just chose like equivalents. And then they tell us moments fell into a hole and the universe began. It's a bit like the raindrops, right, for the ocean. So moments fell into a hole and the universe began. But then we think, wait, like, okay, we get the moments part, right? It's like small pieces of time continuum, time space continuum. And we already know moments like in our world. We get it. But we don't get that it fell into a hole because in order for something to fall, it needs space and time, right? Otherwise, it can't fall. And then the angel goes like, "Oh well, it's because we translated to your space time language, like the water language over here. We translated. Actually, their tuks a universe, their tuks letera, and their tuks das Himmel, and moments vift into a hole, and the universe stacked. So that's basically it. That was the whole idea. And uh, Vift, we just have to trust Gabriel that Vift is the equivalent of falling, just without this time and space. And that's it. That was the whole idea. And there's a lot of like funny little things that you could like maybe imagine, that a bubble, they don't understand what a bubble is. The fishes don't understand what's a bubble, and then like they just see something that disappears from the ocean because it bursts into the air. They don't see that, and then they see like small fractions of things in the ocean, right? They're like thinking like, what is this bubble phenomena? Like when they see it, it goes like this, then it's not there, and then there's like small things, right? And the same goes with us. Like we see a black hole in time space, and we see like it's radiating some Hawking radiation, and we're like, what is this? Like, we don't fucking understand. Like, and we see particles teleporting and shit, and like, we don't understand it. And the angels, Gabriel is like, that's just a bubble, man. Like, that black hole there is just going into our dimension and back again. The particle just travels there and back. So, yeah, that was the whole idea, and I thought it would be worth making a video out of it. So maybe everything outside the universe tooks. It's not, or it isn't, or is, or exists. It just tooks.